Hello everybody, Phil here. Happy Saturday. It's late November 2025. And I was just thinking, what a great community the trials community is. I just wanted to give a shout out to some really nice things that have happened over the last year for me. So this is just nothing but a bit of a shout out. There's no sponsorship behind this. This is just a bit of goodwill back to the community because people have been good to me. There's three things I want to celebrate. Earlier this year, in the post, out of the blue, this is the first thing, I got this beautiful Trials Guru cap. It came, of course, from the Trials Guru team, from John Moffat et al. And I was so chuffed, to receive this. It was so nice of them to send that to me. What a great thing they're doing for the community there, celebrating people for bits and bobs of things that they do for trials. So thank you, Trials Guru, John Moffat and the team. This is really treasured. This is really special. Thank you ever so much for that. Second thing that happened, a bit later in the year, October, Scott trial time. I'd been, of course, in September with rappers, and we'd covered the world round, the TrialGP of Great Britain. And I was walking through the paddock of the Scott trial. It was early on that Saturday morning in October. And I was walking with my son Angus, and out of the blue popped Danny Cockshott, the organiser of the trial Grand Prix of Great Britain, part of that team. And Danny just looked at me. I didn't actually know him, really to speak to, but he came up to me and he just pulled out the back of his van two of these, like that. And he said, "There you go, Phil. There you go. That's for you." And he gave one to my son as well. And he said, "Thanks for all you do." And I said, "Well, thanks for all you do." And that was brilliant. It was just a lovely moment. And I had to say, actually, because I wasn't actually sure, I hadn't really spoken to him properly before, I said, who are you? Are you Danny? He said, yeah, I'm Danny. I said, hello, I'm Phil, It was just a nice thing that he didn't have to do, but he did it. And so thank you, and cheers to Danny and the TrialGP of Great Britain guys. What a great job you did. Fantastic. The third thing that happened very recently. Recently, you probably saw, I bought a Beta 300 Evo 2021. I had a look, took the cover off, and thought, I don't think it's got a flywheel weight on it. Someone's taken the flywheel weight off. So I had a look on Google, couldn't really find one. Spoke to Lampkins, were very helpful, but they couldn't find one, and so on. I thought, what am I going to do? Anyway, long story short, I started phoning around, and pretty much the first person I phoned the BVM Moto, down in the West Country near Stroud. I just phoned them up and they said, I think it was Lawrence that answered the phone. Never spoke to Lawrence before in my life, but I know him because of the videos. And I said, hello, I'm after a flywheel weight for a Beta Evo. They're kind of hard to find because they don't get supplied as standard. They just come on the UK bikes that are imported. Anyway, so Lawrence said, leave it with me, and I'll give you a phone back. So that was it. But 5 minutes later, the phone rings, and it was Craig's voice. And as I say, I know Craig a bit. So, hello, Craig. Hello, Phil. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he says, I've got one. I've got one for you. Brilliant. I found it in the back of the workshop. It's a Waffa bike that I've had before. Blah blah blah. There you go. I said, oh, fantastic. That's great, Craig. Right. He said, I'll get it in the post. Blah blah blah. And he said, yeah, all right. What's your address? He takes my address and da da da. And the kind of, I'm thinking, well, right, yeah, okay. I said, well. What's the deal? I mean, how do I pay you? What do I owe you? And he said, don't worry about it. He said, buy me a cup of coffee, because it was an old one from the back of his shed. I mean, how nice is that? Now that is brilliant. I mean, it was just, and it was just brilliant. There was no side. It was just kindness. And I just said, wow, that's fantastic. So I just thought I'd give him a shout out because that was brilliant. That was what I call a fantastic service to the community. And then, lo and behold, the next day, it arrives. So here's a bit of video showing it arrives. So anyway, let's have a look in here. This is exciting. Oh, I can't get over this. I ordered it, well, spoke to the guys at BVM only yesterday afternoon, and it's already through my letterbox. Wow, fantastic. Oh, look. So anyway, thanks to everybody. Shout out to the team, TrialGP team, Trials Guru, BVM Moto. What a great world we live in. Happy Trials Day, everybody. Have a great day. Cheers.